Folks, it's great to have a great guest back with us again, and you may be watching the great TNT show that we've been talking about a couple times called Murder in the First. It's Raphael Sbarge. How are you, sir?
I'm well. Thank you so much.
Oh, man, tell you what, I'm loving the show.
I'm so glad. I
think we're about halfway through the first season or so, and really enjoying it. It's a very good crime drama with a kind of a different spin.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of people have been reaching out to me lately and saying I've really gotten into it, and I'm finding myself addicted to this show, and I'm really loving where it's going. That's fun. I mean, there's a lot competing for our attention out there, so it's great that the show seems to be connecting with its audience.
Well, you, of course, play one of the detectives on the show, Mulk, and tell us a little bit about what we can expect from his character the rest of the way.
There's not much I can tell you, only because obviously as you know, and perhaps maybe folks that don't know how this works, but the design of Murder in the First is that it's one case over the whole season. So unlike other shows, perhaps that would wrap it up in the 43 minutes allotted to you in a regular hour of programming, this is essentially a 10-hour murder mystery that will then culminate, at the end. In this case, what I can tell you about Mulk is just that he's a detective. He's part of the team that's trying to solve the crime. There's a lot of moving parts and the suspects at the moment, and various polls on the internet now, is Twitter trying to sort of figure out who thinks who, and that's fun because that level of engagement is exciting. The really fun thing is to be able to kind of have a show where you get to explore something like this over in long form storytelling, right? As opposed to just having to kind of like turn it right around and wrap it all up. And I've loved that. From an actor's point of view, it's really fun. As far as where we're going, I can't. I'm sworn to secrecy.
Hey, it's okay. We understand, and I got to throw it out there, and so folks, that kind of to summarize what he's trying to explain here is, in contrast to, let's say, a Law and Order or a CSI, which do have some revolving storylines, but for the most part, they button up each episode. The Murder in the First is really a one season long murder investigation. Taye Diggs, right, Kathleen Robertson are leading the cast, and it really is a really interesting dynamic to dive a little bit deeper. As you said, the storytelling, but in the crime-solving process, which I think is something that's pretty unique to the show.
Yeah, no, I mean, I want to say sort of the pedigree of the people involved is quite extraordinary. You have Stephen Bochco, obviously a man who maybe sort of be part of helping sort of define the form, with both, in this case, NYPD Blue and Hill Street Blues and LA Law. But in terms of kind of really, this is a man who loves cops and loves their stories and loves kind of the whole trajectory of this kind of world. As far as then the cast, you have just sort of, just an incredible assemblage of really top-notch actors. Obviously, Taye Diggs, Kathleen Robertson, you mentioned. Then they've got Richard Schiff, Tom Felton from Harry Potter, James Cromwell, Steven Weber. It's sort of an all-star team. So it's thrilling to be a part of, for sure. And there's what's been really delightful is just sort of watching it. It's really fun to watch the show because obviously, you're not in every scene, right? And you get to sort of see scenes that you've read. But in this case, then you wonder, well, how's it going to go? And then to be able to, I've been sitting there enjoying the performances so much, and the writing, and I don't know. I guess I'm just sort of say I've become sort of a fan of the show myself, just because I've been pulled into the story. I know what happens, obviously, but in this case, I've just been pulled into the performances and the writing. And
that's really fantastic. It's just fantastic. And I know when we spoke to Ian Anthony Dale, he said that Taye is a bit of a joker on set. Is that something that you will also confirm?
Yeah, Taye's fun, and Taye and Ian have a good time together. And what's nice is that there's been a great camaraderie. It's interesting. It's the thing about chemistry. You can never really tell I mean, you hope for the best, that things would come together, and that that people would be able to make it work, and that there would be a melding of the minds, as it were. But you never know. You just never know. It's sort of almost like a flip of a coin. Will it or won't it actually come together? And what was sort of amazing for the detectives, for all of us who get to work together solving the case, and that includes Ian, is that from the moment we started, we all just kind of really gelled in this way, almost as if we all felt like we've been doing it for a while. And it was several months before we also said, "This is weird, right? That it feels discomfortable." Like, yeah. And from the first day, yeah, it was one of those things where we almost didn't want to say anything because it felt so good. but it made for easy days and a lot of fun. Particularly with Ian and Tay, yeah.
Well, I think it's definitely something that when you get the chemistry right and all the pistons are all working together, the engine starts to be a really fine-tuned machinery. And folks, Murder in the First is on TNT Monday nights at 10 p.m. here Eastern Standard Time. If you're check your local listings if you're catching this on the podcast or on the web. And we're talking to Raphael about this great show. It really is entertaining and really kind of a unique spin on things. And he is no stranger to the unique and entertaining. Many of you probably know him from his long stint on Once Upon a Time. But I have to bring up something, Raphael. We're going to have to get your people to call IMDb. I was shocked today as I just did a quick little run through as I was prepping for this, and they still have you listed as, quote, known for Independence Day and The Guardian. Have they not been keeping up with you? What's going on, man?
IMDb is its own universe. What can I say? It's almost like its own sort of city with its own rules. So, but I've been working for a really long time, and I'm very grateful for that. And there've been a lot of different things that I've been able to do. And at the moment, obviously, working on those two shows that you mentioned has been incredible. Particularly Once Upon a Time, obviously, which now is going into its fourth year, and has really just sort of seems to keep just picking up more and more steam as it goes.
Now we do know that they've cast the three main characters from Frozen for the crossover there and that kind of thing. Did they really confirm to you when you guys will head back into production?
Yeah, it goes back next week.
Oh wow! Okay.
I'm going back in a few weeks, I'm told, and the scripts for Once Upon a Time, I like to say, along with the nuclear launch codes, are kept in the same undisclosed location. So, we we don't really they don't share too much with the cast, but we find out when we get the scripts. Of course, obviously, I know what you know about Frozen, so that's going to be pretty freaking exciting. The most successful, animated movie in the history of the world meets Once Upon a Time, so I think that's going to be just fine.
Now, Archie has a lot of different scenes with a lot of different characters. Has there really been a certain sort of chemistry or symmetry and stuff that you've kind of felt with a particular cast member, or there a certain scene?
Everyone to a person is quite remarkable on the show, and I early on when I first was introduced, I was particularly they had me sort of focused in the direction of Henry. Jared plays him, and the young boy on the show, and that I was his sort of almost surrogate dad, and kind of really helping him between his two moms, his stepmom and his biological mom, and there was a lot to do there. What's happened, of course, is that Archie, being that obviously so many people have been in distress at various points, there's been some job security for him. So there's been occasion to be able to kind of do other work with people. And what's been really fun is I've just loved working with Lana Perillo. She and I have done a lot of work together, particularly this past year, and really kind of helping her try and find her way, as it were, dealing with being a mother, and trying to sort of help bring her toward the light, I guess one would say. But I adore Lana, and I just think she's just magnificent on the show. So, but I mean, Robert Carlyle is incredible. Love.
Oh my gosh, he is just so off the chart incredible. Yeah. I mean, the close of season 3, where we finally get kooky, crazy Rumpelstiltskin again, was just so rewarding, and it was just such a tribute to his transformation. And I'm sure Lana, does Lana realize that, like, when they're booing her, that's like the best compliment she can possibly have? I mean, is that kind of how that works when she goes somewhere?
Well, wait, say that last part again. That.
Well, you know how, I mean, she's the evil queen, so I mean, I'm sure she gets booed as much as she is loved. I mean, it's got to be like it's such a dichotomy. How does she embrace that? I mean, you know, Archie's got like the really cool role. He gets to be Jiminy Cricket. Everybody loves you, man.
Right, I get a lot of affectionate response. I mean, the thing about the queen, though, is that she is the character we love to hate, right? So
yes.
Even though she's evil, you know, you feel for her, and that's again what I think she's done with her performance so beautifully. Is that we kind of, you know. You sort of feel like, oh, if only she could be loved in the right way, she'd be able to see the, you know, come, move in the right direction and come and embrace, you know, her good side, etc. But she walks that line where you always sort of feel like you never quite know when she's going to flip back into the dark side. Again, that's what keeps her so engaging. And I, you know, just on paper, it's a fantastic part, but she kills it. She absolutely kills it.
Now, Archie, do you have daughters?
I have a son and a daughter. Yeah.
So I assume Frozen has played once or twice in your house.
Yeah, it's not been missed. Yeah. They got a few of my dollars at the theater. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I got a feeling I just told my girls last night they got to start using the DVD. They're going to burn out the Blu-ray player. So we're wondering what's going to happen here.
What is that? It's like it's got some sort of magical thing on it, sort of make children watch it repeatedly.
I guess. Has there been? I mean, I guess we discussed this during one of our other shows. I think we were saying that really we can remember Lion King kind of being this much of a phenomenon where it lasted like a year later and people were still seeing Hakuna Matata, but really that's the only one. Can you think of anything else that kind of fits to that from a kid's standpoint? Because I mean, I guess the Pixar movies kind of do, but not like this.
Yeah, this just went into a whole other realm. I mean, Toy Story was pretty big, but this felt like a sort of definitely a high watermark for sure.
And you definitely get to be a part of Chapter 2 of that Once Upon a Time Season 4 headed back into production, folks. And we're expecting a fall return now for Season 4 and another exciting chapter turns with the Frozen characters being integrated into Storybrooke and Once Upon a Time. So the other thing I want to ask Raphael about real quick before we go here is he has a great environmental nonprofit that he's part of, and we talked about it a little bit when we spoke to him last time. Well, give a chance to get everybody an update on what's going on with Greenwish.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I can just say, just by way of explanation quickly, which is that Greenwish is essentially a nonprofit that supports other nonprofits that are all local and that are all green. So, in other words, if you're like me, when you pick the newspaper and you sort of read things about, you know, the bees and the climate change and what's happening with chemicals in the air and the water and essentially, particularly if you're a parent and you're looking at the world that we'll all inherit it. They'll inherit. It's hard to not get a little upset and overwhelmed, and perhaps even go to apathy because you sort of start thinking, well, gee whiz, it's all gonna be bad. What can you possibly do? What Greenwish tries to do essentially is answer that question. What we do is we provide the tools whereby which, if you in various cities want to set up a nonprofit there, which then gets to also then identify other local green nonprofits in your community. All the money, shy of a small amount, all the money goes right back into your community. So what happens is essentially it's community-based giving. It's in this case helping multiple nonprofits as opposed to just helping one. And what you ultimately get is a Greenwish chapter in your city. So we now have chapters in Los Angeles, in Kansas, in Missouri. We just opened one in Denver. We're opening one in St. Louis, in Massachusetts. We have none in Florida at the moment. So if there's someone who feels impassioned and feels like they might want to actually sort of get on board, what you can do is go to greenwish.com. Read a bit more about it there. What we do is we provide all of the infrastructure for you to start a chapter of your own. That's including a nonprofit status, free banking, and all sorts of things. So it's a way to kind of find a way to give back that really allows you to do so very quickly and with a minimum cost. And again, is community based.
Fantastic stuff, folks. It's Raphael Sbarge. He's on Murder in the First. He is on Once Upon a Time. Murder in the First TNT. That's Mondays at 10 p.m. You definitely want to miss this. It's probably on demand to catch up a few of these episodes because we're about halfway through and it wraps up in August. So you got to catch that. And then, of course, Once Upon a Time heads back in the fall. And, greenwish.com. If you want more information there, you can check that out and get in touch with him and his team and find out what you can do in your own community there to set up a group, or maybe just contribute to the groups that already exist. And there's already ways now. You don't have to live in Colorado. You can contribute outside the state, I'm sure. So it is great to get a chance to talk to you again, my friend.
Oh, likewise. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely. And we'll be in touch, and can't wait to get the sneak on what's going on with Once Upon a Time whenever that breaks too. So
it's coming like a freight train. Yeah,
it sure is. So take care of yourself, brother. And I'll talk to you soon.
You too, man. Thanks so
Bye.
much. All right.